Welcome to tonight's web class. Tonight we are discussing living in alignment with your purpose. I hope you enjoyed that meditation music. Let's jump right on in. I'm Keisha Golder, and I help women define their unique purpose so they can live a life that they created on their own terms without ever having to worry about what other people think. I also created the Your Life Purpose Makeover Journey, which is a 3-stage, 9-step program, but I'll talk more about that later on. You know I have the question and answer section, so that's towards the end of the presentation, and if you could hold all questions until then, I would greatly appreciate it. Before we jump into tonight's topic, you know we have to recap last week. So last week we talked about the importance of passion and purpose and the roles they play in your life. We also discussed how the right passion can lead you to your purpose and how you can connect your passion and purpose to live the life that you want. Tonight, we are talking about living in alignment with your purpose. So in order to do that, we need to know what alignment is, what the importance of living in alignment looks like, and how we can begin to live lives that are aligned with everything around us. So, what is alignment? Before we can talk about anything having to do with aligning your purpose in your life, we need to know what alignment is. The definition is to arrange something so that it is parallel or straight to something else. Most of us, when we hear the word alignment, we think of cars and you having to get your car aligned. So what do they do when they align your car? They make sure that your wheels and all the other components of your car are going in the same direction so that you aren't driving down the street turning right, but your car is going left. So that is the same thing for our lives. We don't want to be going right, but everything else is going left. We want to have everything together so that we are living totally holistic. Remember, holistic living is the mind, body, soul. So when we want to be in alignment holistically, we want everything to be parallel and straight with the next thing. So there's nothing out of place. Alignment. What is alignment? Our mind, body, and spirit must be all in the same direction to move forward. What does that mean? So if you have one of these things facing right and everything else is to the left, how can you move forward going right when not everything is facing the same way? It creates confusion and it creates disconnect with your mind, body, and spirit because they're not all on the same page. They're not all moving the same way. They're not all thinking the same thing. Being spiritually aligned allows you to know your dreams are within reach. See, when we're spiritually aligned or just aligned, period, it becomes easier for us to see the things that we want, to know that those things are within reach, because we know that everything that we are doing is leading us to that path to get the things that we want, the dreams that we dreamt of. So when you're out of alignment, you're not sure if you're able to reach your dreams because you're all over the place. Living in alignment keeps us together in the place that we need to be, on the path that we need to be. And the third thing is that the actions of a person who is spiritually aligned or aligned otherwise looks like a person moving with purpose. Have you ever seen someone doing tasks and you ask them what they're doing and why they're doing it, and they can't give you an answer? And in observing them, you see that they're running around, they're confused. It's literally like they're running around like a chicken with its head cut off. Now, the person who is aligned, excuse me, knows that everything they do is leading them to something. Whether it is their purpose, whether it is a goal, whether it is a vision, whether it is the next step to get them just a tad bit closer to where they want to be. So they move knowing that it's like everything is calculated. Everything is planned out. There is nothing that is going to happen that should not happen. You are moving with a purpose. You know the reasons that you're doing the things that you're doing. And you wouldn't have it any other way. So, just like you can tell if you're in alignment, there are ways that you can tell if you are not in alignment. And these ways are you don't feel like yourself. When you are normally a bubbly person, a person that always has a positive outlook on things, it's easy for you to pick up on when you're not feeling yourself. And when you find it hard to maintain that positive attitude, and you just feel like you're going through the motions without any particular destination or without any particular reason you're doing the things that you're doing, chances are you're out of alignment with yourself. Depression can also be another sign that you're out of alignment. There are so many reasons that people suffer depression. And one of those reasons can be because they feel unfulfilled. Unfulfilled. And when you have feelings of unfulfillment, you're out of alignment because everything that you are doing is getting you closer to that big thing, the purpose, the feeling of fulfillment. The third way that you may see that you're out of alignment or may have a sign that you're out of alignment is that you're always fatigued and you're irritable. Now, for me, even I'm human at the end of the day. So yes, I still have some moments. They're not as many as they used to be, and I know a whole lot better how to deal with those moments that I have. When I am irritable and I'm miserable and I don't want to be bothered with anyone, you can say hi to me and I just might snap. Now, it could be several different reasons. It could be that I'm, hangry. It could be that I didn't get enough sleep. But whenever I feel the irritability coming on or the strong sense of fatigue, I always check in with myself and say, well, why am I feeling like this? What have I done that I should not be doing? What have I missed? What step in my moving towards alignment am I not doing? Am I not fulfilling? And another way that I know when I'm out of alignment, and I know this to be true for not only myself but other people, the state of my house is a reflection of where I'm at, mentally checking in with myself and things like that. So I'm not going to say I am one of those people who tend to be very, 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 there's not a cup out of place. No, I have children. My children live. My house is lived in. But if you come to my house and there is stuff everywhere, trash, my clothes on the floor, you know that I'm not in a good space. So while I may be noticing these things, I'm also checking in with myself to see why I'm not in a good space, why I'm not doing the things that I normally do. What's keeping me from being me? What's keeping me from being who I know I'm supposed to be, doing the things that I know I'm supposed to do? These aren't all of the ways that you can be or all of the signs that you can be out of alignment. These are just a couple that I have had personal experience with, so I wanted to share those with you. Now, let's move on to the importance of living in alignment. So, when you are aligned, you have a stress-free life, and you become more intentional with how you live. We all are surrounded by outside stressors. This isn't even talking about the stress that we unintentionally put on ourselves. So, wouldn't it be a good feeling to live a life where you know that you have very little to no stress and everything that you do is like dominoes lined up? You knock one down, the next one's going to follow, and it's going to keep going until it's done. That's what living in alignment is. You know, each task that you accomplish or each thing that is in this line is leading you, is propelling you to your desired life and your purpose, that sense of fulfillment, that waking up every day and you are ecstatic because not only have you woken up, you're able to spend another day doing the thing that you love, the way that you do it, the way that you love to do it, without having to worry about anyone else saying, I don't think you should do that. That is the type of life that living in alignment creates for everyone. And you become more intentional with how you live. So living in alignment it makes you think more about what you're doing, why you are doing it, how is it going to benefit you, who is it going to affect. All of these things become more intentional. When we are living in disarray, we tend to do things because of selfish reasons. It's no other way to put it. We do things based off of selfish reasons, selfish purposes. We really don't care who we hurt, who gets caught in the crossfire, any of that when we are living in disarray. But when we start to live in alignment and we see that one thing is affecting the other, is affecting the next thing, is affecting, and ultimately is going to affect how we live all together and in fulfillment, we think more about what we do. We think more about, if I do this, how is it going to affect the next person? Not saying that you live your life for someone else. No. But you know, if you go out here and rob a bank, then chances are something negative is going to happen, like you get caught, you get locked up, and you go to jail. Now, if that happens, you have a whole family unit that is affected by that. When I say do things more intentionally and think about how it is affecting others, that's the way that I mean. You really think about, where is this going to put me tomorrow if I do this? How is this going to affect me 10 years down the line if I do that? And I'm not saying that for every decision that you make, you sit and you deliberate, because the more you're in alignment and the more you are practicing these things, you start to do them subconsciously. You don't even think about it. You just run through your checklist of, is this good for me? Is it going to hurt me? Is it going to hurt anyone related to me? Is it going to benefit me in the long run? You run through that checklist without even thinking about it, because you have started the process and you've done it so much over time once you are really focusing on living in alignment. And no, everyone is not going to wake up tomorrow and say, I need to be in alignment. Or you may wake up tomorrow and say you need to be in alignment, but it still takes you some time to get there because you don't really know where to start. You don't really know how everything is supposed to be parallel to each other. So how can you live in alignment? Here are a couple ways that you can begin to live in alignment. 1, evaluate your values and beliefs. Are they serving you in a positive way? You know, and if you've attended web classes, if you watched my videos, if you've read some of my blog posts, you know that I always say a major part of your journey is self-reflection. This is no different. This is another opportunity for you to check in with yourself and see if the values and beliefs that you hold are in alignment with where you are going and what you want. Chances are you're going to find out that there may be 1 or 2 values and beliefs that are not in alignment, that no longer serve you and where you're going. So guess what you need to do? Let them go. If they're not serving you, you need to let them go. And be okay with letting them go. There's no more holding on to things that no longer serve you, because it becomes dead weight and it holds you back. We don't want to be held back. We want to be propelled to that life that we've dreamed of. We want to be propelled to calling the shots in our lives without feeling bad about how we're living or who has what to say. The next way that you can begin to live in alignment is be prepared to be uncomfortable. Do you think that letting go of those values and beliefs that no longer serve you is going to be comfortable? No. Especially if these are values and beliefs that you've had as a child. There's no way it's going to be comfortable to let these go. So you have to be prepared. You have to be prepared to be uncomfortable. You shatter that box of comfortability and you embrace all of the highs, all of the lows, all of the learning moments, all of those moments where you may want to break down and cry. I've had my share. And I've come out a tad bit stronger on the other side of each cry. Embrace those moments. Embrace not being comfortable. What is a life that's comfortable? Yeah, you're comfortable, but what does that mean? You've fallen into a routine. You've become complacent. You're bored. Let's live the uncomfortable life. Let's explore all of the things that life has to offer. Let's explore all of the things that we know that are inside of us, and we want to bring them out and share with the world. That's what being uncomfortable is about. The third way that we can live in alignment with our purpose is to expect your life to fall apart. I can attest to this. Friends fall off. Family may stop speaking to you. But guess what? You're living life on your terms, and that's what we want. Because if somebody stops speaking to you or falls by the wayside because you've chosen to take charge of your life. You've chosen to take accountability for the things that you do. You've chosen to follow your dreams and live a life of fulfillment. They don't need to be in your life. I can honestly say that on my journey to coaching and learning things, also while I have been on my journey to coaching and learning things and working with people and training and all of these things, I went into training to be a Reiki master. And so I had these two major life-changing things that are going on where I'm changing my life. I'm living more in alignment with my purpose. And people just disappear like smoke, just disappear into the air. And for a minute, for me, I was like, what am I doing wrong? And then I had to remember that I had a conversation with myself and the universe and everyone, my ancestors, spirit guides, God, and I said, remove those who are not going to help me serve myself and my higher good. Remove those who do not have any pure intentions. So while on my journey to better myself, my life, the life of my children, everyone started falling off. And the few people that are around now are the people that I can count on. They are the people that will check me when I need to be checked. They are the people who say, aren't you supposed to be doing this? Why are you doing that? We all need accountability partners. So your life falling apart is not a bad thing, because in anything, when it falls apart, what comes out of it is so much better. Would I believe that my life is where it is right now? A year ago? 2 years ago? 5 years ago? Absolutely not. But I had to start living in alignment. I had to evaluate my values and beliefs. I had to get uncomfortable and get used to being uncomfortable. You know, I didn't expect my life to fall apart, but it did. Am I grateful that it fell apart? Absolutely. And that brings me to one of the last ways the last way that I'm going to talk about. Of course, there are more ways to live in alignment. Always, always, always maintain an attitude of gratitude. No matter what it is, a gain, a loss, a lesson, a hardship, be grateful for it, because I can guarantee you it was a lesson in it. Your gratitude is the thing that will carry you when it is hardest for you to maintain living in alignment, because you know that is something good on the other side. You know that you're getting something out of it. You may not know in that exact moment exactly what it is, but you know that you will be getting something out of it. You may not realize that that was a lesson until 6 weeks from now, but it's a lesson and you've gotten something out of it, and it's going to help you on your journey to wherever you're going, to whatever your purpose is, to whatever is giving you that sense of fulfillment. That lesson is going to help you. So be grateful for all of the experience, the good, the bad, the ugly, and the indifferent. I want you to remember that just like a car, I talked about it in the beginning. When we think of alignment, we think of cars. Just like a car, making sure that everything is aligned will get you to your destination safely and quicker. If you're out of alignment and you're going to turn right, but everything else is turning left, you're going to end up hurt somehow. So make sure you're aligned. When your body turns right, make sure your mind and soul turns right with it. Now, if you have any questions, feel free to ask them. You can unmute yourself. You can type them in the chat box. Whichever one you decide is okay with me. Okay. So, you know I love to keep in touch with you guys. I love to chat with you guys. So, here's where you can find me. You can find me on Facebook at Coach Keisha Golder. You can find me on YouTube at Keisha Golder. You can find me on LinkedIn at Keisha Golder. And of course, you can visit my website, www.KeishaGolder.com. Stay connected. Go read some old blog posts. Go read some new blog posts. Go look at some videos. Go some past web classes. Go spend some time. Just check out. Just drop a line and say, hey, how are you? I enjoyed the web class. When's the next one? Or do you think you could talk about this? I'm reachable. I'm not unreachable. I'm not untouchable. You need me, you can find me. Don't hesitate to reach out. So what are we talking about in our next web class? How to conquer emotional anxiety and get back in touch with the life you want. I can't wait because this is going to be interesting. So, remember I introduced my Your Life Purpose Makeover journey in the beginning. So here it is again, and now I'm going to talk a little bit more about it. So this web class was all about living in alignment with your purpose. Purpose, as you can see, is step 8 in stage 3. But while we were talking about living in alignment with your purpose, it also included all of stage 1, which is where you want to be, core values, and belief systems. When I created this roadmap and this journey, this program, I created it because we all are looking for that thing that is going to give us a sense of fulfillment, that thing that makes us feel like, yes, I've accomplished everything that I want to accomplish. But in order for us to get to that point, we need to have a clear understanding of who we are, our environment, what's in our environment, what about our environment is holding us back. What about our environment can we change or enhance? What about ourselves? Can we change or enhance? So remember, I said sometimes you got to do a self-check-in to make sure your core values and your belief systems are where you are currently. Because some, they may be back when you was 10, 12, 15, but you're 30 now. You may not believe the same things. You may not share those same values. And again, that is okay. That's what we're here for. We're here to work through that. We're here to know what it is that we want, how each step is connected, and how it works together to get us that sense of fulfillment, that sense of purpose, that waking up in the morning saying, yes, thank you. I'm able to do something that I love again today. Everything that I talk about is connected. And it's connected because we have processes. We may not think about them that way. We may not think about how the decision we make in this moment is going to affect us 10 years down the line. But things are connected. And that's what the Life Purpose Makeover journey is about. Finding out how all of these things connect to get us to the life we dream of living on our own terms. And so I thank you all for joining me tonight. And I look forward to seeing you next week.